call this bang bang.
Seriously?
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Pull up, bitch.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up.
Objection. Objection.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. KO. Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up.
Bang, bang.
Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth calls Trooper Michael Proctor to the stand. Please state your name and spell your last name for the jury.
Michael Proctor, 𝗺𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
My name is Aidan Kearney, also known as Turtleboy.
He is a senior editor for Turtleboy Daily News.
I'm a big fan.
We've broken hundreds of stories that the mainstream media won't touch.
Some blogger in Massachusetts who's getting to the bottom of this better than anybody.
Why is it Turtleboy that is covering such important issues? Where is the rest of the media?
You need to not say that you were gonna take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby.
Stop it.
Don't you want to ask some questions? I know you do.
I do. I
know
have
People don't like the things that I say and want me to stop saying them, but I won't. I'm never gonna stop. These are the kind of stories that must be told.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's gonna be quiet. We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go time.
Boom! What's up, turtle people? How's everyone out there doing tonight? Good, good, excellent. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Turtleboy Live program. It's been a bit. I haven't been here since when? When was the last year? I was here on it's been like 10 days almost. I mean, I know I did the impromptu live. I did a couple of them. One was a bit saucy down in Provincetown. By the way, I just want to point out there, like, I could bang any guy I want in Provincetown. I want to be if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I'm just saying, if I wanted to, I could. Okay, I was very popular down there, and there's this gay, like any guy. I wouldn't. I'm just saying. I'm just bragging about it. It's flattering either way. Gay guys are a lot more, they're guys. So it's a weird thing, because it's like, usually the guys are the more aggressive ones in a heterosexual relationship. So, it's just like, and the girls are play a little more hard to get, and the past, how these traditionally go, these courtships go. Whereas guys, it's just like, it's two cocks, and it's nobody plays hard to get. Nobody plays hard to get. So it's just, they don't give a fuck at all. It's bizarre. But anyway, there was no dick grabbing. No, nothing like that. But anyway, guys, I'm back. Well, I had a good vacation. I was in Truro. Jill, don't tell Jill Daniels. She'll get all mad. She'll start, what Jill Daniels will say. What do you think of that, Jill? I just got to play this. She gets so mad when I go to Cape Cod. Where'd it go? Come on. Where's the clip? Here, is this the one?
No, you don't, because you're a fucking loser. Oh, I went to Truro because somebody gave me a thing.
Somebody gave me a thing, also known as a house. So, we loved it down there, and had a house right on the beach. It's dope, Bayside. Good weather towards the end there. Had a good time, rest and relaxation. But we're back now. I don't think that I missed that much when I was gone. It wasn't like last year when like Lucky Loughran thing happened and a whole bunch of shit happened, but we're back, baby. We're back. Anyway, so what else is going to be? Yeah, if you're new here, welcome to the program. My name is Aidan Kearney on Facebook. You can follow me on my account, Clarence Woods Emerson. That's kind of my stage name. Follow me on there. I do a bus stop live every morning. I did one this morning, the first one back since the school, because today was the first day of school for the kids, 2nd and 4th grade this year. They're always nervous on the first day. They did great. And, so we do a bus stop live on Clarence Woods Emerson. Check me out on there. On, other people, old school turtle riders, they call me Uncle Turtleboy, which is fine. I prefer doctor, if I'm being perfectly upfront with you, because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then I get to be a doctor too. It's only fair. Also acceptable, as you all know, is daddy. That's what Brian Tully calls me, and as he should, because I am his daddy. But I don't really care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp, and make sure you smash that subscribe button, because we're getting real close to 100,000. We're up to 98.7 thousand subscribers on here, so it's getting close to a hundo. And if you can, you're eligible for the plaque. We're probably not going to get it, but we'll try. If we get to 100,000, that would be a cool little thing we overcame. But yeah, man, I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys. I missed doing this. Missed just jamming with you. There was some stuff that happened that I wanted to talk more about. This Paul O'Keefe lawsuit happened out of nowhere. Then we had that we're going to talk tonight about his idiot friend, John Jackson. And I've been really meaning to get into like my shit, man. Like, so I have court Thursday, and it's just, bro, I am sitting on, this is not like me. Okay. I'm sitting on bombshells, like major shit. Corruption, like it all ties to the Reed case and the Sandra Birchmore case too. It's the same people, and we have evidence of it now. And we're going to try to, we might be talking, we're still going over strategy. I don't want to say too much. I'm in this weird position, but I've been meaning to write the story. I've already basically got it written, but I want to talk with my lawyers and talk about when we want to release shit and how we want to do this and what we want to hold on to and what cards we don't want to show and all this other stuff. So we got to discuss all that. But anyway, now Mark will not be there on Thursday. We knew this going into it. He's on vacation, so he's unavailable that day, but he has been working with us. We're going to try to get him in on Zoom. I'm not sure if that's possible, but either way, he'll be there in spirit, and we're ready to go, man. We're ready to go. We've been working. We've been preparing. I can't wait. I can't wait to really get into this. But, 𝗃𝗏𝗃's birthday. Happy birthday to 𝗃𝗏𝗃. I believe it's his birthday. Bill Reed's birthday was this week. Big birthday week. So anyway, what else is I going to say? Oh yeah. And tomorrow. So I'm kind of a true crime guy now, I guess you could say. I'm really a Karen Reed guy, but I'm also a true crime guy. And the other case that I've been following for like a year is the Robert Tellis case. And it finally went to trial, and it was fucking awesome because he took the stand and it was amazing. And I thought it was going to be like a 5-second conviction, like done. Like I thought it was going to be the quickest conviction because it was the most hilarious trial I've ever seen. Like him taking the stand and him getting cross-examined by the prosecutor, who is so good. I think his name was Dampner or Hampner or something. I forget his name. He was so good. And you're like, oh my God, not everyone is Adam Lally. Like you're just watching this trial and you're like, holy shit, there's like a way the courts can work sometimes. And like, they just destroyed this guy. Like he's the most guilty person I've ever seen in my life. And he's alleging what Karen Reed is alleging, and that's a conspiracy, but you can see the difference between the two, like a legit conspiracy and one that you're just making up and just fucking debunked and full of shit. It is hilarious. He gave a 2-hour like soliloquy on the stand. Instead of asking questions from his lawyer when he was called, he got up there and gave like a 2-hour monologue about the conspiracy. Some realty company is framing him for murder. He killed allegedly, he killed a journalist by the name of Jeff German, from the 72-year-old from the Las Vegas Journal Review or something, whatever their newspaper is in Las Vegas. He's an elected official, Robert Tellis was. And he killed, there was some shadiness going on in his office. He had like the least important elected office ever. Like, I don't even know, some bullshit. You die and then your home has to get sold to someone. That's what his office did. And nobody cares. And he was an elected Democratic politician. And this newspaper reporter started digging into him and figuring out because he got a bunch of complaints from people who worked in the office, and they were complaining that like he had a culture of just horrible. Like he was fucking one chick there in the back of a car and giving her special assignments and shit. She's getting all these privileges. But everybody else, he was just like, it was abusive. And they went to the newspaper, and the newspaper did a big thing on it. And this guy, Jeff German, wrote the articles, and he wrote like 3 or 4 articles. And someone else in the office, an older lady named Rita Reed, decided to run against him in the primary. And because of Jeff German's articles, Rita Reed won. And so he was on his way out, and he was so pissed. And then Jeff German was going to do one more story about his extramarital affairs or something like that. And that's when he couldn't take it anymore. And he murdered this dude in broad daylight in his house and dressed up like he wore this like hat that looked like he was going and work in the fields in like Vietnam. And his bright orange jumpsuit. It's the most ridiculous murder I've ever seen in my life. He stabbed the dude to death. He lay in wait in his house, ambushed him, and just stabbed him to death. And he is so guilty. Like the evidence against him is just like, bro, come on. Like the most guilty dude. And all the pretrial shit, he was defending himself. Like he didn't want a lawyer. And it was hilarious, the pretrial stuff. Like wild. And then finally, somebody talked some sense into him. He got a lawyer who represented him, but he still wanted to testify. And so he testified at the trial. And instead of like asking him questions, the lawyer is just like, okay, so now just tell us about yourself for 2 hours. And he just went on this rant about Compass Realty, how they're a realty company's framing him. Everyone's in on it. And it's like Karen Reed, except with absolutely no evidence, like whatsoever, nothing about, like completely made up, like it's wild. And like it's like a comedy routine when the prosecutor was cross-examining him, it was like, they just go back and forth. And it was just like, it was so funny. I just laughed so many times. And he's so cocky. He's the most cocky defendant ever. Like in his mind, he's getting off. Like in his mind, that went fucking great. Like he's watching, he's like, oh, this is fucking, everybody believes me. Like he's one of those guys. Like when they come back with a guilty verdict, he's going to be genuinely shocked. Like it's going to be hilarious. He's going to turn on his lawyer. He's going to turn on the freaking jury. It's going to be great. It's going to be fucking awesome. Anyway, I thought it would be the quickest verdict ever. And they've been deliberating for a day and a half now. Like, what is going on here? Like, how the fuck does Karen Reed go to trial? And so I want to do a whole thing comparing the two. So tomorrow night, Wednesday night, I'm doing an extra episode. We're going to do the Rob Tellis trial tomorrow night and compare it to Jennifer McCabe, because that's who he reminds me of very much. And Olivia Lambo put it out there too, just like Jennifer McCabe. Like it's fucking the way they lie on the stand, except the difference is that Jennifer McCabe is not on trial, unfortunately. Rob Tellis rightfully is, because, you know, it's fucked up when Las Vegas, of all places, has a less corrupt criminal justice system. Less corrupt than anything. It's freaking Vegas. Like they should be the most corrupt place in America. And their courts are better run and their law enforcement is apparently more trustworthy than ours is. Like it's just wild, man. So I'm going to do a special show on that tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Claire, right? You could compare Karen's trial to any other trial to see how corrupt it is. Just like it's amazing. You watch any of these other trials and you're like, holy shit. I watched that Black Swan thing for a bit. I didn't get that into it. But you're just watching it and you're like, oh wow, people are competent sometimes. Like ADAs are actually somewhat good at their job from time to time. That's interesting. Like that's just, you know, like the Murdaugh trial, like everybody is competent, but not Norfolk County. Norfolk County is a freaking zoo, And now and most of these people, if you watch most of these trials, if you're a law tuber, because I'm new to this, I'm new to the true crime shit and the law tube shit. I popped my cherry with Karen Reed. But most of them, if you're watching these things, the audience thinks that the defendant is guilty. That's usually the default, is the defendant's guilty, because usually they are. You know, usually you don't get indicted if you're not, especially if you're completely innocent. But if you're not guilty, I mean, it's rare to be not guilty on a murder. And so that's what makes the Karen Reed one so unique, is that the public is overwhelmingly in belief that Karen Reed is not guilty, like overwhelmingly. And but the people that say she's guilty are or at least they pretend to be so convinced otherwise. And that's what we're going to get into tonight. We're going to watch an interview with the dumbest person I've ever heard in my life. And every week I say this, they can't get dumber. They do. And that is this guy, John Jackson, is the dumbest person I've ever heard ever. But, yeah. Anyway, I haven't read much of the comments. Who isn't? Oh yeah, Karen's not guilty. Right? Exactly. Like the Donna Edelman trial. Is that the mother? Adelson. Wendy's the one I want. I think she's fucking the worst of them all. To be perfectly honest with you, fuck the brother, fuck the mother. It's her. She's the real bad one. Sarah Boone's going to be a good one. It's going to be like Darryl Brooks 2.0. It's going to be good. So anyway, and of course, obviously we have to do that. All right, cool. Anyway, let me just refresh this here. Let's see. If you would like to have your messages read out loud, you can't do the super chat because YouTube took that away from me because I had the wrong opinions on certain things, particularly vaccines. And so just for COVID, I'm not an anti-vax guy at all. Just like that one was like, I'm not getting that shit. I don't really need that. And you can't say that on here. So you can't do the turtle chat anymore. Right. So if you want to donate, you can and have your message read out loud. You can click it. And let's not even call it donate anymore because I feel like it's like, oh, you beg for donations. It's not even a donation. Like you're paying for something. You're paying for a service. You're paying to have your message amplified. It's kind of like advertising, right? Well, like if you want to have your freaking message put on a plane or something and driven around, it's the same shit. Is it not? Like we need to get rid of the stigma about donos. Like they're not donos. People are paying for a service and they're getting it. The donos are when you donate to if you donate to my legal defense or something like that, then, I'm not saying your name, but like here you get to write a message and you put a quarter in the machine and I just say it, so I just read your message out loud to the class. So if you click at the link at the top, you can donate whatever amount of money you want. I'll get your message and I'll read it. Or if you have Cash App, you can Cash App me at $ Uncle Turtleboy, and I'll get that message and I'll read that lesson, that message out loud to the class. Oh yeah, and by the way, I also talked to Andrea Burkhart this week. Great lady, awesome lady, and we talked about doing a stream. She's another big law tuber. Love to talk to her about some things. So we got to get her on there. I should start doing this I should start doing a show every night. Like I feel like I need to do this more, but it's just a lot. It's a lot, but anyway, so let me read some turtle chats here. David sends $10, goes, happy birthday, Sean McDonough, and welcome Turtle. Welcome home, Turtle. You two are the best. Get along, please. I get along great with Sean in the Gulf, so that's good. That's good because I like Sean. Lisa sends $25 and says, happy birthday, Avery. Happy birthday, Avery. Love you. Thank you. Jamie sends $5, goes, first, thank you for all you do. We appreciate you. Second, I want to let you know Karen Reed is making local news in New Orleans. I was shocked when the article popped up this evening. Keep going. It's national news, baby. National news. All you Bayou Turtle Riders down there, keeping it real. Love to see it. Thank you. Lisa sends $10 and goes, please get Hailey W on the show. I love me some Hailey Walbrecht. If you guys aren't following Hailey W, is it at HW on your case or something like that? Follow her. She's awesome. She exposes real shit on twitter.com. And it's real good stuff out there. It's mostly exposing the ratchets, like the shit I don't have time to do. And it's so funny watching these people try to figure out who Hailey is. It never gets old. Like Grant and Krusty are like obsessed with Hailey. Like they and Kim Fair, they want to know who Hailey is so bad. And let's just say this. They have no fucking clue. I know the demographics of Hailey. I know what state Hailey lives in, and I know what gender Hailey is. And somebody offered to show me like Hailey's identity. I know somebody who knows Hailey's real identity, and I turned it down because I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. If I don't know, then I can't accidentally dox them. I can't accidentally say their name. I can't tell somebody I trust and then that person betrays me. I don't want to know. I don't care who Hailey is. Hailey's too valuable. Hailey has like you know how hard it is to have like 6,000 followers on Twitter and nobody knows who you are? Like that's talent right there. Like it's really hard to keep that going. Like nobody has any clue who Hailey is. Like, and when I say that they're like, I've never heard, like I briefly saw a picture of Hailey from this person who showed me, and I didn't even look at the name. I saw the license because Hailey sent the license to this person to prove who they were. And I didn't say, I'm like, I don't want to know the name. I don't want to see it. And because we need to protect Hailey at all costs. Hailey's too valuable to the cause, and we got to keep Hailey anonymous. So, all right, cool. Hailey does get shit done, Leah. You're absolutely right about that. All right, cool. And again, if you're not on Twitter, you're not getting any of this, but I'm telling you, get on Twitter. You know, Twitter is the biggest it took a while for Cat Turd got outed. I saw finally. Cat Turd was the boomer that we all knew Cat Turd was. But if you're not on Twitter, you're not getting any of this. So just get on Twitter. Like, Twitter is the biggest social media site in the world now. It's surpassed Facebook. Like, since Elon, like, remember everyone was saying, oh, Twitter is going to Twitter is going to decline now that he's going to drive it into the ground. All these people are quitting Twitter. Yeah. All these fucking horrible people that worked at Twitter left it. And it will always be Twitter to me. I'll never call it X. It's fucking Twitter. He should change it back. Twitter. Fuck X. He can call Twitter X since he puts X in everything. But I'm calling it Twitter because that's what it is. And it's a tweet, and it's not a post, it's a tweet. And so get on it. Like, it's where all the fun is. Like, I don't even, like, I do Facebook. I post on Facebook still. I have an Instagram and we do a TikTok, but I don't know how to do any of that shit. Bit of a boomer. Also don't care. But fucking Twitter's where it's at, man. So get on Twitter. Anyway, so thank you for that, Dono. Jenna sends $100. Woo! Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate it. And she says, so disappointed that Judge Kearney did not dismiss charges 1 and 3. We knew that was coming, though. We knew that was coming, Jenna. And just wow regarding the civil suit filed against Karen Reed by Paul and the family. I literally gasped when Paul sat down for his post-trial interview and said Josh Levy should have, quote, stayed out of it. I'm sorry. What? Exactly. Like, that's not what he told me. He said he was happy the FBI was involved. He was just not happy with what the FBI uncovered. And he's too fucking stupid. Paul is too stupid to realize, like, and put 2 and 2 together. Like, gee whiz, Paul, like, why do you think Josh Levy why would he want to help Karen Reed out of all people? Like, she knows Karen Reed, the dastardly Karen Reed. No, because he's not stupid. And the FBI knows that obviously John O'Keefe was killed inside the house behind me. Wake up, Paul. Seriously, bro. I know it's embarrassing for you, and you're never going to come around because you've been knocked in the head too many times. Like, CTE Paul O'Grift is never coming around. And that's why I laughed when all you people out there were saying, oh, remember all the pretrial hearings and bombs were dropped in court? And you're like, oh, wow. I wonder how the O'Keefes are handling this. Wow. Oh, man, they're probably so mad at Jennifer. They didn't give a shit. One ear and out the other. They don't care. Paul does not care. Paul O'Grift does not care at all about facts or evidence or something like that. Paul is in this for the cash money. That's all. That's all Paul O'Grift cares about. He does not give a shit about justice for his brother. People tell him he wasn't even that close with his brother, like when he was alive. How often did they hang out? Seriously. And, they got some pictures together. Yeah, because they're brothers, right? They're brothers. They're going to have some pictures together. Paul O'Grift is in this for the money. I've said it all along, but it was proven and it's undeniable now with this grifting lawsuit. The word grifting is thrown out around a lot. Mark Bettero's a grifter. I'm a grifter. DeClaire is a grifter. Brian LTL is a grifter. We're all grifters, they call us. Anybody with a YouTube channel is a grifter, right? Now, there are some grifters, like Twisted Tragedies was obviously a grifter. Obviously, Krusty's a grifter. Fake Victim's a grifter. There's some grifters out there. But, the grifter is Paul O'Keefe. Like, Paul O'Grift is the grifter of all grifters. So, there's that. Okay. Goes on to say, I'm sorry, what? You're frustrated the FBI is investigating the death of your beloved brother who's a Boston cop. You're irritated the FBI has evidence proving Karen did not hit John and was not hit by a car. Please, Paul, just stop. Justice for Karen, John, and Aidan, and happy 76th birthday to Bill Reed. Well, thank you very much, Jenna. Suzanne sends $25 and goes, welcome back. What time is court Thursday? And will someone be streaming it live? I have no control over if it's streamed. Usually it's on Zoom and people just stream the Zoom. If it's not a camera in there, I'm hoping there's going to be some media there. Because if you're watching, we got some bombs. We got some bombs Thursday. So let's just stay tuned with that one. Okay. So I don't know if people, so what time does court start? 2:00. But Paul Cristoforo and them will be down there at noon, rallying the troops. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So I'll see you there. I just don't know what courtroom it's going to be in. They keep putting us in that little rinky-dink courtroom. So I'm not sure how many people will be able to get in, but either way, come join the fun. All right, Lena sends $5 and goes, I set my alarm for the live. It's 2 a.m. here in the UK. Nice. Was cringing when you said the Proctor's mom was watching the live. She watches Sean McDonough as well. Does she really? She's a secret fan. Everyone in the class say hi to Proctor's mom. Thank you for everything you do and loved hearing Meredith joining in on your live when you were out the other night. She is someone I would like to go out drinking with. She's a blast. Sounds like a good time. God bless you, Dr. Turtleboy. Hashtag free Karen Reed. Hashtag Turtleboy. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for the kind words there and the dono, Miss Lena. Eileen sends $10 and goes, free the Provincetown Pizza King. I almost got that pizza, man. That thing looked fucking delicious. It was one of those white pizzas too, you know, extra cheese or something like that. It looked so good. The tomatoes on it. Oh, it was made for me, but alas, the gay pizza was not mine, unfortunately. Okay. Closet Baby sends $10 and goes, shouldn't I be able to sue for being stuck in this damn closet? This is bullshit. Free Karen Reed. Well, free you too, Closet Baby. Let's get you out of there. Got to get you out of that goddamn closet. There's no windows in there. You need some ventilation. Thank you. Jen sends $66 and goes, happy 6-month anniversary of getting out of jail after spending 60 days. I also want to thank you for inspiring my two favorite channels, aside from yours, of course, Microdots and Flipperhead. Speaking of Flipperhead, he's supposed to be sending me a video that I'm going to debut in here at some point during the show. Yeah, I love Flipperhead, and I obviously love my guy Richie from Microdots. Thank you for all you've done and continue to do. You know, it was the 6-month anniversary of me getting out of jail, man. It flies by. It flies by. I'm back, and you know, I lost a lot of weight in jail. I put it back on a little bit, you know, but getting back in the groove of being out. There's some things I miss the structure of jail and just having nothing to do. But I definitely don't miss jail at all. I'm actually like fucked up from jail. Because jail is really horrible and you should never go to jail. Because especially when you're like not a jail guy, it's actually traumatizing. But besides that, I will be out. I'm glad to be out. I'm never going back to jail. I got bad news for the haters. I'm never going back there ever. I met a nice lady yesterday who said that at Scruffy Murphy's in Worcester, went out to dinner and had the meatloaf. It was delicious. And she's like, I used to write to you in jail, she said, and on the 𝗵𝗂𝗃 app. So I appreciate all the messages I got in jail. But unfortunately, I'm never going back there. Unfortunately for them, they seem to think that I am, but I'm not. I'm just not going. Why would I go back to jail? I'm on bail revocation. Well, I'm not going to violate the bail. And I understand that they're trying to jam me up for anything. They'll take anything I said out of context. Oh my God, idiot Grant. Ugh. So yesterday on the live, the impromptu live, I started ranting about Paul O'Keefe, and I said something to the extent of, if the indictments come on the McAlberts, if Paul O'Keefe shows up to federal court for these, you know, to Brian Albert's or John McCabe's indictment, he better not. I'm going to give him the business if he does that. Like, AKA, like, you sat with these motherfuckers in court. Don't pretend to give a shit now, Paul, you know? So, and then Grant takes it and he just cuts and pastes bits of it and pieces of it where I'm saying like, oh, don't come to court. Oh, he's telling Paul O'Keefe not to come to court. Oh my God. For a hypothetical situation that hasn't happened, in which, and if he does, he can show up to court. But I'm going to be like, bro, you're a fraud. You know, where you been? And that just shows how dishonest these people are. All of them, a lot of them. They lie. They lie. They lie. They lie. Anyway, what else do we got here? I think that's it. Okay, cool. Let me just refresh that. Let's see if we missed any. Nicole, we do have a few more here. Nicole sends $25, says Karma Paul getting sued by the man he luckily didn't kill drunk driving. Yeah, justice for Carl Prather. Justice for that man. He almost got killed by drunk Paul O'Keefe. Justice for him. Thank you very much. Rod sends $5 and goes, I think we're missing where Paul's anger comes from. He probably trusts college football teammate Lieutenant Tully, who should have recused with Proctor and definitely wasn't doesn't want the FBI investigation. Yeah, he's scared of that for sure, as he should be. Patrick sends $10 and goes, is it time to give Joel from Surviving the Survivor the award for Cowardly YouTube Content Creator of the Year? Or should he merely be sent to the corner to wear his mega dunce cap? Yeah, he is kind of cowardly, and I don't know. Like I've got my feelings about Joel. I just think he's, first of all, his low ratings. He's got no ratings for the amount of, but he has a book. He really wants you to buy his book about his mother, because is it his mother or his grandmother? I forget. Just buy the book, okay? His whole YouTube channel is basically one nonstop infomercial to buy his book, from what I understand. And then it's like a bootleg court TV thing. He brings on these experts who are really just, recycled idiots from court TV. And then they come on there and they just say stupid shit, uninformed shit, especially when it comes to Karen Reed. Meanwhile, nobody knows more about Karen Reed than I do. And I would quadruple his audience in like 5 seconds. And he doesn't bring me on because he likes having low ratings. All he wants is to be uncontroversial and sell his book. Okay, that's it. So leave Joel alone. Joel just wants to have the simple, low ratings, lightly viewed lifestyle, and just some people will buy the book. Okay, and he's been doing it for years, and he's getting by. So leave Joel from SDS alone. He's a decent guy. He just wants to sell his book and have Wendy Murphy on and Coven Doofus, and then that's it. Oh, I like Dave calling in though. Dave, I know Dave. That's the thing. I don't know if I call us friends. I think he's kind of a friend. I mean, yeah, I'd call him a friend. We never hung out socially or anything like that, but like I know him, I've worked with him because with the Jerry Callahan podcast, he was the producer for Jerry Callahan when I was doing the podcast. And he's good. I liked him. He's been on my show before. So I've known Dave for many years now. And then he took the Kirk Minahan gig with Barstool. And then he wanted to be like a free spirit. So he left there. He pulled a Steve Robinson and just went. I don't even know how Dave makes money now, but he has a new program with Nurse Kim, as she's known, on it was on TikTok for a while. Now they've moved to the YouTube streets. All right. And they were holding down the fort kind of while I was gone. I watched a couple of their programs. They had Ted Daniels on. I mean, that's legit. You got Ted on your show. That's legit. So they had him on, and I find it entertaining. Although I will say this about Dave. It's like he should have like Dave. We got clips of Dave like not too long ago saying Karen Reed's hit him with the car. Like, come on. He should. Has Dave come out and firmly said Karen's innocent? Whatever. He's a nice guy. Dave's a nice guy, but he's like me. It's like I view Dave Cullinan like Katie McLaughlin views Caitlin Albert. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, so what was I? Okay. Sorry, we got to get started here. I got to read a couple more of these. Mary Rainsford sent $100. Woo! Nice. It's raining hundos. And she says, hey, Turtle Boy, glad you're back. You always report the truth as the juror agrees. Hashtag free Karen Raid. Hashtag free Turtle Boy. Nice. Thank you, Mary. Deb sends $10, goes, Cage Krusty. So close. I know. We got a Cage Krusty. She's going to have a bail. She had a bail revocation hearing in Stoughton yesterday. She survived barely. And then she has another one in 2 days in Leominster. And then another one a week after that in West Roxbury. Let's see if she can go 3 for 3. I don't know. All right, next up. Kyle sends $5 and goes, in P-Town, it isn't the Intimidator. It's in him later. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, thank you very much, Kyle. Okay, thank you. Brittany sends $10 and then says, don't read out loud. Okay. I don't know what that means, but thank you, Brittany. Jill sends $10, goes, hey, Turtle Boy, you're amazing, and fuck the McAlberts. Thank you for all you do. Well, my pleasure. Thank you. Okay, cool. Let me read some Cash Apps, and then we're going to get started on this interview. It's already 9:40. Time flies when you're having fun, huh? Carrie sends, or Shaylin sends few bucks, $5, and goes, will your court be televised on Thursday? I sure hope so. I'm not entirely sure. $20 from Kerry. Says Mark Diller is a tard for not going after the Commonwealth. I know. That's where that's how you know this Mark Diller guy isn't like a serious attorney. Because like the real money is in suing the Commonwealth for what, like, representing Karen Reed when this is all said and done. And that's where the real money's going to be. Thank you, Kerry. Donna sends $20 and goes, thank you for all you do to help Karen Reed. Oh, my pleasure. But I'm also doing it to help John O'Keefe. Posthumous John O'Keefe. The only one in the O'Keefe family that I'm fighting for is John O'Keefe. The rest of them can fuck themselves. Although I like his nephew. Nephew Patrick seems like a sweet kid. Poor kid. You know, he's been manipulated. Mama sends $30 and goes, evening, Dr. Daddy. What a week. Yeah. Yeah, you could say that. Thank you very much, Mama She. Andrea sends $10 and goes, message me about the Bruins tickets raffle. Oh, right, crap. Thank you, Andrea. I'll do that. Gregg sends $20 and goes, Tammy, you still suck with the Q. Ooh, take that, Tammy. Zelda sends $10 and goes, love your show. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Zelda. What a cool name. Okay, cool. If anyone else wants to donate, the link to the top is for the Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $Uncle Turtleboy. We got a good crowd here. We got 6,700 people on YouTube right now. We got 108 Rumble Rats over there. Oh, including, that was me, Julie from Scruffy Murphy's. Excellent. She's one of the Rumble Rats over there. Nice to see. Thank you very much. And she says, I was outraged at the BS setup by Tully and the fake victim. Karma will catch again. Stay tuned. You haven't even seen the tip of it. It gets crazier than that. Thank you. All right, cool. Let's get this party started. Let's jump over here. All right, so before I left for vacation, Gregg Hill from the Hillman Morning Show, which is on EEI now, not WAF. Him and Courtney Cox, not the acquaintances, late Courtney Cox, with not Jennifer Aniston's friend acquaintance. She's like the co-host of this show with Wiggy, who caught like 8 passes in the Super Bowl. And now he's the Brockton High School lame duck coach, football coach. So they're on the show now, and they had Karen. They met Karen Reed. They had dinner with her, and they talked about it on their show. And they believe that she's innocent, and they just talked about it. And they were impressed by Karen, because she's an impressive person when you talk to her. And Karen, when you talk to Karen Reed, people are like, oh, the haters are like, oh, she fooled you. She's using you. But no, she's not using, like, she's just fucking right. Like, she backs everything she has to say up. And, she can. And I'll tell you one thing, like, for a while there, when I first got out of jail, I feel like Karen was, didn't want to be associated with me, because I took it personally. I'm not going to lie. I took it personally. I wasn't happy about it. I didn't like make a big deal out of it or anything like that, but I was a little upset, not going to lie. And I get it. Why? Because Auntie Bev has a thing for her, and they're so desperate to try to prove that, we conspired to do witness intimidation, and then they'd revoke her bail and all this shit. But now that on March 27th, I was able to share with her lawyers that a grand jury was convened in Norfolk County, led by Ken Mello, and they attempted to indict both Karen Reed and me on conspiracy to commit witness intimidation. Ken Mello asked a grand jury to indict us and brought in witnesses and did his whole thing, and they failed. They didn't indict either of us on conspiracy to commit witness intimidation. So I think maybe she was emboldened by that, because she was just worried, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, these people are vicious, they're cruel, and they're out for her. But it was never any like bad blood. Like, I never had I was always team Karen Reed, like, because I'm in team John O'Keefe, like same shit. It's the same thing. You cannot have justice for John O'Keefe without justice for Karen Reed. So I never took it personally, but I think that she started now to give a fuck less about in general about everything. You might have noticed her posting on Facebook more than she was before. She was kind of quiet before. She comments in the groups a lot now. I talk to her now. Like, she's not afraid to, like, today she gave me a quote about the Vanity Fair thing that I tweeted out. And she had told me, I'll read this to you. Right. And I said, can I tell people? And that's the beauty of like getting outed as, remember in jail, I was in jail. Like, oh, he talked to Karen Reed, a big scandal. Who cares? Okay. Yeah. We kept it a secret. Like, it didn't, because she was anonymous and I didn't want, like, she wanted anonymity. Well, now no one gives a shit. And I think she realized that she has nothing to lose, right, by telling me shit. So yeah. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so she's just not giving a shit. Like, I think Karen's reaching the point where she's just not caring about, and Karen's not caring about, like, not going to be hot, not going to hide anymore. Not going to, like, yeah, she's got nothing to hide. Like, she should be her biggest advocate. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the Free Karen Reed movement. Right. And, because she's got the facts on her side. And she told me today, and this is the exact tweet that I put out. Let me bring it up. Yeah, the exact tweet said, breaking news, Karen Reed told me on the record that the Vanity Fair article on her will include all of her attorney's fees and expenses, as well as her assets with receipts. So all this stuff about, like, oh, she's grifting, blah, blah. No, she's going to show it all. She's got nothing to hide. The other side doesn't. The other side doesn't want to show us anything, do they? So that's what I like about Karen Reed, is that she's not afraid to show receipts. She got nothing to hide. And, I think she's just done hiding. I think she's done pretending that there's anything wrong with associating with Turtleboy or whatever. Like, and I can't wait for this Vanity Fair piece to come out. And so we can read about whatever. And somebody texted me that she's out to dinner. Let me see. Is this true? Hold on. Speaking of, she went out to dinner tonight with Brian LTL and Dave Cullinan. And I was just talking about him. And so this is what Brian LTL posts on Facebook with a picture of them. I had the privilege to be invited to dinner with Karen Reed alongside Dave Cullinan, longtime ex-Barstool Sports, to chat about what her life has been like over the past 3 years. I'm very thankful for the opportunity, and I'll recap my conversation in an upcoming live. Stay tuned. There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. And there's a picture of them all together. She just doesn't give a shit anymore. I love it. I like how she's not hiding anymore. And, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, a year and a half ago, we're talking through fucking Natalie. And I think she realized if we go back again, we would just skip all that and be like, fuck it. Yeah, we're talking. Who cares? Who cares? Share the pic. People want to see it. All right, let me send this to myself on the book. Hold on. All right. Yeah, there they are. Cool. So they, again, no longer hiding. No longer hiding. So there it is. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's pull up the stream here, shall we? So anyway, she went on there, and this really upset the anti-Karen Reed people. And so one of John's friends I mean, Paul's friends, whoever, wanted to set the record straight. This guy's name is John Jackson. And let me tell you, he's a real doofus. John Jackson, I've seen this guy at many court hearings before, and he's like one of those, like, who the fuck is that guy? This is him with the Maurice the Pants Man shirt there next to Peggy O'Keefe. And that lady next to him is Chris Resendez. This is Erin O'Keefe's mom. And there's Paul. And that's John Jackson. And then I'll show you John in this video when I confront Paul outside of court.
Paul, do you have any shame at all doing something like that?
Hey, look what's up.
You think domestic violence is funny? Do you?
Orange looks better on you.
Do you?
He's the guy that says orange. Listen, he goes, orange looks better on you.
Do you?
Orange looks better on you.
Orange looks better on you. Fuck this guy. So let me, John Jackson. We're gonna share our thoughts on John Jackson. He thought he was cute there. He thought he was cute. That was out of jail for 3 days. So John Jackson, first of all, I want to ask John Jackson, first of all, how's your whore doing? That's what I really want to know. Because I will read this out loud. I got a tip on you, John. And I don't know if your wife is on Facebook, but this is being seen by quite a few people. And so I want your wife to know this. So let me just bring this up in case she's watching, okay? Wait, where'd it go? Hold on. I got it. I'll find it somewhere. What's today? You know, I might have to dig for this. I don't want to hold the show up. But I don't want to get this wrong about his whore. Either way, I'll tell her later, okay? But he's got a chick. I believe, and I know where she lives. I know everything about her, okay? And John is actually the one who spilled the dirt on this one. So we'll get to that later. Anyway. No, his wife wasn't watching him fuck somebody else. His wife doesn't know. His wife doesn't know. And again, I have a million screenshots on my phone, so I don't want to slow down the show, but let's get to this. We haven't talked about John Jackson yet. So let's play the audio of this.
Boston police officer you are here to represent a group of friends and others who want the other side of the story. So,
Definitely.
Absolutely. So it's not that we were really upset about you guys going to this. It is what it is. I mean, you really have to do, but just like this opportunity really to get out and say the other side, because we feel, like I said, I don't represent the O'Keefe family. I know. So
again, he's here to show the other side. That's what he claims he's here to do. So go ahead, John. Tell us about the other side. What exactly is the other side of this murder cover-up? And explain it to us. Explain to us why Karen Reed's actually guilty. Go ahead.
I know them. I love them. They're fantastic. But I'm more like the lifelong friends. Kind of got together and said, let's put some of these some of these rumors to rest. Some of the untruths out there to rest.
If you say you know a lot, it's because you got nothing to say. We're gonna put these untruths to rest because I've known Johnny a long time. I've known him a long Johnny. Okay, so I've known Johnny a long time. We're gonna put these untruths to rest. So how are you gonna put them to rest? Go ahead, tell us about it, Johnny.
Just talk about him, get him back to the front and center of this.
Yeah.
I hate that shit too. And they're like, we got to put Johnny in the front and center. Bitch, we call it justice for John O'Keefe for a reason. This idea that we're not putting John O'Keefe front and center is just a lie. He's like on all of our pictures and shit, right? But John's dead. We can't free John O'Keefe, right? There's nothing we can do. They already killed him. And so there's not much we can do to save John O'Keefe. We can fight for justice for him, but we can't get justice for John O'Keefe without justice for Karen Reed. Can't do it.
If I could, and I think that that's why Greg and I took the opportunity to sit down with her as well, because there was so much out there, and whether it's social media or watching the live stream during the trial, it has become a circus.
Wild.
And I can't imagine being a friend of his and watching this all unfold.
Sure.
For Greg and I, we weren't there. So for me, I wanted to sit down with somebody and ask the questions that were on my mind. And when the opportunity presented itself, and to sit down with her and me be able to say, I've heard this, I've heard this, I've heard this, and have somebody give me something, I thought that was important. And so that's why I'm so happy that you're here too, because it is important to get both sides. But we've been very forthcoming in the fact that we both believe that John O'Keefe deserves justice. And if she did not do it, that's important too.
Of course. I mean, we obviously have our side.
Right.
We we feel a certain way about it. But as far as
what is that way?
We feel a certain way.
For you, you're here, so you have determined that she did it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay. Oh, definitely.
So let's talk a little bit first. Let me talk about him, if you don't mind. Let me just start with Johnny.
Let me start with Johnny. So we're going to talk about why Karen Reed did it by deflecting and talking about Johnny. Oh, let me guess. Salt of the earth guy. Great guy. Take his shirt off your back for anyone. These are this is so insulting because these are just cliches. These are token cliches. These are the kind of things you say about someone when you don't actually have anything unique to say about them. Oh, if you ever heard somebody say, kind of guy, salt of the earth guy, take his shirt off his back for anybody. Great guy. That's the kind of shit you say when you don't really know a person. You don't know him that well. And listen to some of the anecdotes that he gives about what a great guy. And what the fuck, we all know John's a great guy. That's fine. John could be a shitty guy, by the way. I wouldn't care. You can't kill him. It's still illegal to murder him. It's not okay to murder John O'Keefe. If John O'Keefe was a shitty guy, I would still have a huge problem with murdering him and framing an innocent woman. So I don't give a fuck if John O'Keefe was a good guy. I'm sure he was. I don't doubt that. Nobody disputes that. And so this is what these people do. Oh, John O'Keefe, great guy. Yeah, we know. So what about Karen Reed? Like, we all agree John's a great guy. What about Karen Reed? Tell us why.
Let me talk about Johnny. Johnny was a fantastic guy, right? So
fantastic.
Like I said, lifelong friends got together and said, during the first trial, we kind of just sat back and we all kind of agreed. Let's not be the reason anything goes wrong here. We know the truth's on our side. The evidence is there. Let's let it play out. And we did. We sat back. What we underestimated was the outside noise in the social media sort of groundswell, if you will, that took off and just the narrative got away from everybody.
The narrative got away. Yeah, the narrative that Karen Reed killed him certainly got away from everyone. Like, that was the narrative before. I'll give him that. We definitely changed the narrative because that narrative was untrue. But the social, like, once you start saying shit, the social media is already blaming Turtleboy for this. All he could say, we all agreed not to talk because you had nothing to fucking say. That's why you didn't talk. You had nothing to fucking say. If you talk, you sound like a fucking idiot, like you did during this 20-minute. Like, this is an embarrassing interview. Anybody who watches it and like, this guy's fucking smart. Nope, this guy's an idiot.
And of course, we watched the trial, and we know what we saw in the trial. Now
we know what we saw in the trial. Yeah, we saw two experts from ARCA with PhDs and hundreds of court cases they testified in, and expertise in biomechanics and kinematics, and who definitively testified that John O'Keefe's injuries were not consistent with a motor vehicle collision. We did that. We heard from Lucky Loughran, who said there was no body on the front lawn at 2:30 a.m. and there was a Ford Edge parked out there at 3. We heard from Michael Proctor and read all his disgusting text messages. We heard from every single person who was inside that house and how not a single one of them saw a body on the front lawn when they left the house. We heard who's heard anything, saw anything. We heard from lots of people. You're right. We did hear it all. And this guy's like, yeah, we heard it all. Yeah, we did. Okay. What'd you hear?
We talk about later if you want, obviously.
Yeah, we can talk about later. Or now.
All that stuff aside, thing that's getting sort of pushed to the background is Johnny, you know. And so as
Johnny,
one of his friends, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, his memory, everybody who
say something
his trial thinks about him first.
Say something.
Right? Put his thought in your mind first, because that's ultimately the real victim here, the ultimate victim here. No,
he's been on for 4 minutes. He hasn't said a fucking thing yet. Say something. Say something. Can you tell us fucking anything about why you think Kearney's guilty? Tell us fucking today, Junior. We know that John O'Keefe's a great guy, salt of the earth guy. Take his shirt off shirt off his back for anyone.
No matter what you believe in this case, he's the guy, and you said it yourself. Yeah. Justice for Johnny. But I mean, he was such a tremendous guy.
Oh, tremendous guy. Tremendous.
And I'll tell you a little bit. So we went to Northeastern together, right? In those years,
oh yeah, this is like Trump when he gets up there and like, great guy, fantastic guy. And you know, Trump barely fucking knows him. You know, and he's all, let me tell you a little anecdote about my Northeastern days. Let me tell you a little anecdote. Oh, he's got an anecdote coming up. Let's hear it.
AF all the time.
Yeah, we listen to AF.
Right? So
yeah,
crazy shows.
Yeah.
It's just like so funny guy. We commute together. We didn't live there. We commuted. So, you know, he had this terrible car back in the day. I can't even say the word he called it, but you know, he had this.
I mean, you fucking kidding me right now? Fucking, oh yeah, busting Johnny's balls. These people are so full of shit. They're all walking cliches. If I heard one other person get up there and talk about an Irish exit, like anybody knows what that fucking means. Like, oh yeah, we like to go out for whiskey and Jameson and ginger and Jack and you know, talk. Oh yeah. Like these are the kind of guys that call everybody Murph and you know, Sully and Johnny. They can't just call each other by their freaking names. None of them. They are like they all are walking cliches and want to be so badly this like grizzled blue collar Bostonian dude, right? And they're just all fucking gay. Like these people are gayer than Provincetown. All of them. All of them.
This terrible car would drive in, and there was a song, Gallows Pole. You just played it all the time.
Yeah,
Gallows Pole, right?
Yeah.
He, you know, and he was pretty straight laced. You know, great sense of humor, but he was, you know, pretty put together. And every time the song came on, he'd roll the windows up so he could belt it out as loud as he could. You know what I mean?
We're 5 minutes in.
Just,
He said
just really
nothing.
let it go, and then as soon as the song's over, roll the windows down. Like, but every morning with you guys, you know.
Why is he wasting our fucking time with this? Like, the fuck does any of this has to do with a murder? Like, what does any of this have to do with the murder?
All the time, but
I mean,
walk
just
for change and all that stuff.
I don't know. I would include myself in this. That I don't think there are a lot of guys who would do what he did when it came to adopting his niece and nephew.
Yeah. So
Paul certainly
so
wouldn't.
Sounded like, and my interest in this is that first of all, my interest, like everybody, like you, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You don't know what happened.
No, well, I mean, right.
Well,
it's in terms of like eyewitnesses.
So I don't know what happened. Yeah, you don't. He's like, right. I don't know what happened. Right. Kearney's guilty, but I don't know what happened. He just admitted right there. I don't know what happened
and stuff like there's nobody right. Of course.
Well, explain to me if you do know what happened.
Sure.
How do you know what happened?
So let's start back. Let's start back with again being close with the family, right? So
he's close.
Friends. We all know him and his personality and who he is.
He just can't talk about the fact. Oh, let's talk about him. We know him. Like we're 5.5 minutes in. He hasn't said a fucking word.
And, you know, he was not like an intensely like violent guy or anything. He was pretty laid back and like it wasn't like so to hear these stories about like fights and anger and resentment with other, you know, you can get into calling out or anything you want, right?
What fights and resentment? We contend that they picked the fight with John. They didn't. It was a drunken people that got into an argument. Like, what are you talking about? John's never gotten in an argument with somebody before. Is that what he's saying? Okay.
And so all this stuff, it just wasn't his nature ever, you know?
So it wasn't his nature, but his nature isn't to be involved in a relationship that ends in domestic violence, killing. That's what he is. Okay. That is his nature. Okay.
at all. So to hear like, oh, he had a beef with this guy and that, like, it just wasn't his personality. First of all, right? Like, we can start at the base there. But then after the situation, immediately after the situation happened, the family and the close friends all got kind of these vibes from her.
Oh, they got
Like,
vibes.
she just changed on a dime.
Oh.
Her person, the way she interacted with the family, and it kind of set them back because you met her obviously.
Oh, guys, he's got it all figured out. Detective John Jackson here has it all figured out. There's just the vibes, just vibes. You know, we're over here worried about evidence and facts and testimony from experts and stuff like that, but he's got vibes. He's got vibes. Karen Reed, we underestimated Karen Reed's vibes, guys. That's what we should have been focusing on, not the testimony of ARCA experts, but the vibes that Karen Reed gave out on the morning in which her boyfriend was murdered. The vibes, those, like, how she reacted to trauma, it gave him the wrong vibes. The vibes spoke to him. Yeah, somebody pointed out the vibes spoke to him. 𝗃𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃's vibes, her vibes are normal, like acting all completely calm, cool, and collected. Googling how long the guy in cold, not telling the first responders that you're outside your sister's house, not mentioning anything, not going inside the house to get blankets or anything like that. Those aren't vibes that they're worried about. The vibes that they're worried about is that Karen Reed left an uncomfortable situation at One Meadows Ave to go back to her parents' house in Dayton. That was the vibe. So he's got vibes. He's got vibes.
I've never actually met her in person, just but
I've never actually met her in person, but I'm best friends with Johnny. Imagine that. You're best friends with a guy and you didn't meet his girlfriend of 2 years. Does that not say it all? Okay, go ahead, Johnny.
She's engaging and likable, and some of the closer friends were like, they just didn't expect it. But when it happened and she changed on a dime, and that was it. She cut the family off, cut the friends off, and that was it. So those are kind of like telegraphing as to possible reasons why the family considered her right away.
I will say that she echoed your sentiment, though, that he was not an aggressive guy, that he was not somebody. She told us, because I made sure to ask the question. I saw the rumors that John may have brought to light maybe Colin Albert and some drug accusations before this all went down, and she said that never happened. People are trying to make it more dramatic. They're trying to add more flame to fire. And so, for me, if you believe so strongly that she did it, and just looking at the evidence, how could she have been there and hit him at the time that they say he died if she was already at his house?
Sure, you're talking about the Wi-Fi.
Yes, yeah.
So,
well, because I'm just that's just my mind when watching this.
Sure.
So that's one of a million things that Courtney Cox could bring up in this situation. Facts. How is he going? So now we're how many minutes in? We're 7.5 minutes in. How is he going to dispute the fact that Karen Reed hooked up to the Wi-Fi at 12:36? How could she have gotten home if Jennifer McCabe saw him outside at 12:45? How could that have happened? How could she possibly have done that?
So, we can get specifically into it. Like,
let's do it.
The car data and stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Lexus had text stream data on it.
Okay.
And, which these ARCA guys did not. They're experts in this text stream data. It's on their website saying this is what we do. It's and they didn't bother looking at it. So,
they didn't look at the Lexus text stream data. Yeah, they were hired to figure out, because their job is to figure out if John's injuries could have come from a car. What on earth is looking at the text stream data? How is it going to solve that one? How is it going to solve that one, John? Their job is to figure out, could those injuries have come from a vehicle? Because if they weren't, it doesn't matter what the text stream data said. They're not consistent with being hit by a car, John. The laws of physics still exist in the town of Canton. Could this happen?
So we don't know what their questions, right? We can get into that too, but we don't know what they were actually looking for, if they decided what they decided without looking for it. But that text stream data, if you follow the timeline there's about 5 or 6 minutes between the time, close to 5. I mean, it depends on if it's, 4:59 or whatever, right? So it's about 5 minutes.
What? What is he even saying? This is like this guy. This is your brain on Plevin. That's what this is. This is your brain on Yellow Cottage Tales. Because I've heard Plevin talk about this too. Oh, it's like one of his rants. It's like, what? Like the seconds, like, so it's actually 4 minutes and 58 seconds. And you could have done that if she was traveling 55 miles an hour in a blizzard, which she probably was doing. I mean, these are the hoops these fucking team retard has to jump through to reach these conclusions. And it's amazing to watch it. Like,
it's there between when we believe the accident happened and when the Wi-Fi connected. Now, the Wi-Fi can connect outside the house. You can pull in the driveway and that Wi-Fi can connect. It doesn't have to be, I'm sitting in front of the router. You know what I mean? It just can. So, you know,
let me just ask you this. You believe, and I'm assuming that the family and friends believe that in the United States, I think 5%, maybe less, slightly less of the murders are committed by women. And so your belief is that, and
this is such a silly thing for Gregg Hill. I'm glad he's on our team, but for him to bring up, he like talks about how, well, Karen Reed probably didn't do it because she's a woman. Like, bro, come on. Stop. Like, what are we doing? To me, that's the dumbest argument. Like, okay, but go ahead.
You were talking about how John is not the kind of person who would get into a fight. So you're making that character judgment about John, and rightly so, knowing him. Do you at all question that 5% of these murders are committed by women, and this is somebody who was a Bentley professor, worked at Fidelity, had not been in trouble previously, and just decided on that night?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say just decide. I mean, you're talking about 5% of the population, but it's one person. Yeah. We're talking about one person, right? So you can throw all those stats out and just think this one person had whatever happened that night, whether highly intoxicated, and I won't get into it, but highly intoxicated in that moment. Whatever happened in that moment, it was something, right? That happened.
What?
So,
I want to ask this.
What the fuck is he even saying? What will happen in a moment? What he is? This is how many minutes we're now? 10 minutes in, and he hasn't said a fucking thing of substance yet. Nothing. Said Johnny's a good guy. Tell us another anecdote about Johnny, will you? What a good guy Johnny was. Imagine, like this shows how you give me 20 minutes on the Gregg Hill show. I am going to come in there and just overwhelm you with data, facts, and evidence. Because I have, and I don't, that's just me warming up. I am not going to waste a second of my time talking about, oh yeah, like I'm Team Karen Reed. I'm not going to waste a second of my time going in there and be like, oh, Karen Reed's such a great guy. Salt of the earth girl. Oh yeah, real great person. Yeah, real good person. No, I'm just going to get in there and just fucking start burying you in facts and evidence, because that's what I got. That's what we have. Like, we're ready to fuck all the time, aren't we? We're just ready to just throw evidence out there because that's what we have. We have it all on our side. They have nothing. They have emotions. Like, everything is emotions with these people and vibes. They have a lot of vibes. We lack vibes. I will give them that. When it comes to the vibes factor, we punt that one away. They get that one. They got the vibes.
This question, because I wasn't as vested as Gregg and Courtney is. Does the family and you guys believe that it was something that was just everybody was kind of very drunk and it was an accident, or does they feel like there was a little bit of intent there?
Sure. So I can speak to that. I'll speak about me personally. So yeah, good question, because at the moment it probably was an accident, right? Like in the moment, at that moment, like the act was intentional, right? What she did was intentional. She's intoxicated. It was, they probably arguing.
It was an intentional accident. What? They were probably arguing. Probably. This is what they have, is probably. This is probably. And this whole thing about them being in a fight is just undocumented. Like, every single person that night said that they were getting along. Video shows them getting along. But they want us to believe that as soon as they got back in that car, all hell broke loose. They just decided to start fighting. They weren't fighting at all night. And then they just got in a huge fight. Like, what? Where is the evidence of this whatsoever? And by the way, like, if you're actually fighting with somebody, like Karen's driving, you would just drop them off and be like, see you later, dickhead, and I'm leaving. Like, that's what you wouldn't sit around waiting for them to text you and make sure things are okay inside. That's not what you would do. You just fucking leave. Like, and if John was really in a fight with her and wanted to get the fuck away from her and he got out of the car, he would just go in the house. He'd be like, fine, fuck you, cunt, I'm out of here. But nope. John just stood there and just like, run me over, bitch. Fucking get over it. 24 miles an hour, 62 feet. Bring that shit. But just the arm. Don't hit my whole body. Hit my arm, break the taillight, pirouette, fall, bounce, head on frozen ground, gashing back of head, phone underneath because it just did. And and I broke this news on Twitter, and I'll say it now. The Commonwealth is not planning on bringing, and I can say this is a fact now. The Commonwealth is not planning on bringing back Trooper Paul for trial 2. I'm really sorry to hear that. Like, he is not going to be a Commonwealth witness as of right now. They are actively shopping for an expert who will counter the Arca guys, because they know what a disaster that was. And they know now that this is about manslaughter. They're probably not going to get her on murder. And so they're going to try to if they can convince anyone that he was hit by a car, then they'll be golden. And they're like, bro, Trooper Paul ain't going to cut it. That guy's got issues. I'd feel bad. I would have felt bad for him if he wasn't participating in pure evil. But he got up there, and he was like stage fright. Like that guy's got, I don't know if he's autistic. I don't know what his fucking deal is. But he had issue. He had a speech impediment. He seemed nervous. It was like a animal, like a leopard toying with a baby antelope or some shit. Just fucking with him, like just ready to devour him. Like they can't do that again. That was bad. He's like mocking him at the end. He was asking him, "What else did the crime scene tell you?" He did a pirouette in midair. All right, go on.
Fighting, whatever, and there was the act was probably accidental.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem that we have is that happened at 12:30ish at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
6 o'clock in the morning. Right? So what happened in that time frame? All those, we know she called her parents at 1 o'clock in the morning. Who called?
If Karen hit him at 12:30 and he wasn't found till 6 in the morning, how the fuck was he still alive? Have they thought about that one? Because Google how long to die in cold. It's significantly less than 5.5 hours. If he was out there for 5.5 hours, he would have been fucking dead by the time first responders found him. But he wasn't yet because he was put out there closer to 3:30. That's what actually happened.
Calls their parents at 1 o'clock in the morning because I just saw my boyfriend walk into the house of the party I dropped.
So anybody know the answer to this one? Like, this is one they bring up a lot. And I'm sure there's an answer for it. I've never asked Karen this. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation. Why'd she called her dad, I guess, at 1 o'clock? Is that true? According to her call log? I don't know. Maybe somebody, I have no fucking clue. Because I don't really care for shit. Because I'm looking, the Arca guy said he wasn't hit by a car. So I don't really care why she called her fucking dad. I don't know. Anyway, back to this.
Maybe it was a butt dial.
Hey, maybe it was a butt dial.
There were a lot of butt dials.
There was a lot of butt dials. We can get into that too.
Yeah, but do those bother you at all?
Oh, sure. Look, I'll tell you flat out now. Like, again, speaking of myself, we're not. The investigation wasn't perfect, right?
Okay.
To say the least.
Well, that's
right?
what I want to get into. So the
to
jury, it was a mistrial.
Yep.
And I don't know any other way to. I assume you think that the state did not do a good job prosecuting the case.
Well, we'll find out in terms of with those affidavits and stuff. What actually happened with the jury? The actual numbers of the jury.
But it was a mistrial.
It was a mistrial, yeah. So
the jury.
We'll find out with the affidavits what the actual number was. No, it was 12-0, but go ahead.
Was not able to come to.
And by the way, I found out the identity of another juror who I'm trying to reach out to. There's another story I haven't broken yet. I'm full of stories now. I know I found out the identity of another person contacted me and said this person's talking about this at work. That's how they always find out. Their coworkers always message me. So he's an EMS worker. And we got another guy. So I'll give you the composition of the jury. So what far I know. I know the foreman is the cop, the former cop, current physician's assistant for a surgeon at a Boston hospital. He is also the juror who wrote the affidavit saying that he's scared of me because I announced that I know that there's a former cop on the jury. So that's the foreman. Okay. Another one I know, one of the good ones, is a nurse. There is one nurse on the jury. She was a not guilty voter. So that says a lot. Nurses all know. Ask any nurse. any nurse knows that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car. Okay? I know that as a fact. Then there's the mailman. I know about the mailman. All right. And the mailman was just one of these guys who was easily swayed. He was one, I'm told, my sources on the jury, because I got juror sources now. Okay. I did an interview with a juror. I know shit now. The mailman was the big guy. And he was initially not guilty on manslaughter. He is one of the people, my sources tell me, was just could go with the flow, like easily pushed around, easily manipulated. All right. Then there was the lawyer. She was eliminated. She was one of the alternates that was taken out. So she didn't get to go on. Who else do we have there? There was two guys with PhDs. They were both guilty. They were guilty voters, the PhDs. Like, not, but again, they don't, neither works in the medical field. And Pam Beasley. Pam Beasley got eliminated. She was another one. She was a solid not guilty vote. Like Pam Beasley and the lawyer. Those are the two that would have, they had strong personalities. Like this jury, if you saw them, you're like, that guy's a pushover. If you saw the mailman, you're like, that I could convince that guy of fucking anything. And now that I think about it, like the foreman seemed like a douchebag. And so I know he was I'm sure the foreman was a guilty vote. The angry little old lady with gray hair, second from the left front row, she sucked. I could tell she sucked. The crying girl at the end who switched seats, the drama queen, she sucked. And the woman in the back row with the blonde hair, she sucked. I could tell she sucked too. Those are guilty voters. And the not guilty voters, I know as a fact, front row, all the way to the left, dude with the beard. That guy. I could tell that guy's a not guilty. I could tell the nurse is a not guilty vote, right? Front row. I could tell the next to her was a woman with long black hair, probably 50s, glasses. I know she was a not guilty vote. Sure of it. Those are the three I know 100% were the not guilty voters. And the EMS guy, okay? I'm not going to out him because I don't do that. I'd love to have a conversation with him, though, because he's an EMS guy. He's won awards and shit. And, he's been talking. Like, I know he's a jerk because his coworkers are reaching out to me. He works on a fucking ambulance. And he was a not guilty voter. I know it as a fact now. He told people this at work. He was not guilty. And then he is the one who, in the affidavit, told one of the other jurors that he felt intimidated by Brian Albert's presence. Remember a juror said that? That guy was an EMS worker. He said he felt intimidated by Brian Albert's presence, and he changed his vote from not guilty to guilty on manslaughter. He was one of them. Him and the mailman. Those are the two that I know as a fact switched their votes. And I'm trying to reach out to him because I'd love to have a conversation. I'm not trying to dox him. I just want to know what his thought process was and like what life was like. Go, how the fuck do you do that? And again, why did they get pushed around? Because they got rid of the attorney and Pam Beasley. Those two women would have been running shit on that jury. Like, I know strong like, go watch 12 Angry Men. If Henry Fonda wasn't in 12 Angry Men, there wouldn't even be a movie about it. It would have just been called Guilty. That would have been the movie. It wouldn't be 12 Angry Men. It would just be like dude kills his dad. That would be the name of the movie. But instead, it was called 12 Angry Men, and it won a whole bunch of awards. It's an American classic because Henry Fonda was the lone not guilty vote, and he convinced all of them. He had the strongest personality in the room. And that's what it takes in these goddamn proceedings. Is you got to have a strong personality. You just convince the other people. Like, no, actually, she's not guilty when you think about it. You know? So there's that. And it's an awesome movie. It's one of the best, like it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's so fucking good. But anyway, go ahead.
Correct.
A unanimous verdict. That's the way the justice
Of course,
system
of course. So yeah, in terms of, do we think the prosecution didn't do a good job? I'll say it. Let me rephrase it and say it. All the evidence that needed to be in front of that jury was in front of that jury to convict. If they wanted it, it was there. Hopefully, it gets repackaged in the second trial and delivered a little bit different. My opinion, right? So because everything that was necessary to convict her was there. You know,
If she is found not guilty in the next trial, do you think that you, in seeking justice for John, will want to find out what happened?
I mean,
Or are
look,
you-
so you're asking almost
I'm
two.
not asking
You're asking almost two different questions. Like, so the family knows and the friends know what happened. Okay, so
The family and the friends know. Okay.
so if it's not, I don't want to jump ahead, but
Okay.
if we're taking a hypothetical that she's not convicted in the next trial,
Well, I'm only taking it because she wasn't convicted in this one.
of course, and there's depending on how this goes, there's going to be another trial, right? In terms of there's going to be another trial, but do we still know? We know. We know what happened.
But we
But
do
is,
know
that,
what-
fair- is that fair? In the
Look, you're talking about fairness is different than being able to prove something in a court of law, right? So we can talk about fairness. Johnny's not here. That's not fair,
No, it's
right?
not.
So that's the most.
Johnny's not here. So it doesn't matter if Karen Reed's not getting a fair trial because Johnny's not here. Johnny's not here. Fuck that. This guy's Mrs. Johnny. So you can't fuck Karen Reed's rights. Fuck fairness. He misses the friend that he never met his girlfriend. That guy.
Most important thing for us. But if she's not convicted the second time, I mean, what are we going to do? Like, we'll say there's a not guilty, right? If there's a not guilty, well, that's the end of that, right? I mean, that's how it is. She would have been found to have not guilty in the court of law, and our hands are tied then, right? But
You bring up like what did she do though between the time she left the party and then the next morning when John's body was found? They do have record. Like she called him 30 plus times.
100 phone calls, sure.
But there are over 30 voicemails. So during that time, we do know what she was doing. Does that raise suspicion to you at all that she didn't know what was like? She didn't know where he was.
Well, so
because if
And this guy, and thank you, Rocco, for pointing this out. It's not what you know. That's what he said. He goes, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. The dude literally basically just said that. All the facts point to Karen Reed didn't do it. Exactly. It's not what you know, it's what you prove. Exactly. Like that's, and they can't prove shit. They can't prove it. I don't think this guy understands what prove means.
she was so drunk, I just don't know if you can have the wherewithal to be able to say, I'm going to premeditate it to look like I'm looking for
Okay,
him.
so we talk premeditation is a little bit different too. Right? You're talking about something different than act. Like so, for instance, her actions to us show that she knew she did something wrong, right? And
To
in
us,
critical hours,
to us.
say 1 a.m. or 12:30 and 6 a.m. possibly could have saved his life if she made different decisions. That's my opinion, right? So when you talk about the murder two,
How could she save his life if Brian Albert and Colin Albert and Brian Higgins kicked the shit out of him and threw him on a lawn? How could did she have ESP? Did she know that they were doing that?
charge. The third prong of that charge is the intent charge, right? But the intent is not did she premeditate it? Did she intend to do it? The intent is did she intend to do an act, right? Like the act of doing it. The act is driving the car backwards 24 miles an hour, 60 something feet, hitting Johnny. That's the act, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My premeditation.
Like, have you ever tried that, dude? Going 62 feet in 24 miles an hour? Like, have you tried it? Because if Johnny was my good buddy, I would try that to see if it's possible. Because I have tried it. Turns out it's not possible. Like, it's really not hard to figure that out. That's literally impossible. But go ahead.
meditation topic was about the phone calls. Like, was she sitting at home after doing this, knowing she did it, and say, okay, I'm going to call him over 100 times, leave over 30 voicemails to make it look like I was worried and looking for him? That's what I'm talking about. But if you're that hammered, I don't think you have the capacity to be able to do that.
So obviously we don't know, right? Obviously we don't.
Yeah.
And I will never speak to her. So I'll never get a chance to ask her that question. But you have to think, whatever happened in that moment that caused her to act the way she did and drive the car in reverse at that speed, at that crazy speed, hit him and move and drive away. That is, if we call it the way you were talking earlier about, was it intentional? Was it an accident? Whatever it was, she did the act. She drove it. She drove and then she left him. Still drunk, still hysterical. Those actions in there, people act differently, obviously, in the moments. So those actions for the next 30 plus voice, whatever the voicemails were, I don't keep the numbers, right? But whatever that was, you can't say it was necessarily rational. Could have been intoxicated. It could have been hysterical. Could have been whatever that reason is. I mean, some of the voicemails alluded to him stepping out or whatever. Wasn't true, but in her mind it was, So
The fuck does any of this have to do with anything? This guy's just, I've never heard somebody say less. Like, imagine getting on the radio and then this is what you say. He has no fucking plan about what to talk about. None of these people do. The more they talk, I'm glad they're talking because we get to realize how stupid they are now. This only makes us look better.
So she's acting as I try not to talk about her too much, but like those voicemails indicate a sort of jealous rage, right? That's what it sort of feels like. And so that moment of the accident, it feels the same way, right? To us, that moment was probably an incident of jealous rage. To us would be, you were talking about 5% of women, right? Still domestic violence, right?
Yeah.
So she still did the act, left him and left, and then those voicemails and everything indicate her state of mind at the time, right? So
she still did the act. That's no, she didn't. The ARCA guy said she didn't. Every witness said that there was no body there. So she didn't. So it's acting like this is settled fact that she did it.
Do I think she was trying to cover her tracks? Not at that point, but maybe like 4:30 when, you know, things start wearing off. We've all kind of been there a little bit. Things start wearing off and you start coming to the reality of, I may have done something. And, you know, the phone call she made to Kerry Robertson, the upbeat.
And no, they always talk about this phone call that she made to Kerry Roberts. And I saw some guy outside of the courthouse holding a sign that said, "Oh, what about the phone call to Kerry Roberts at 5 a.m.?" And then I went and reread the reports today. And Kerry Roberts, what she told police, she called Kerry Roberts at 5 a.m. to say John's missing. Not John's dead, John's missing. That's what she told Kerry Roberts, according to the police report.
No, I was just going to say, is there concern with the family and friends of John O'Keefe moving forward that based off the first trial and the way that evidence might have been presented or obtained, that there could be a chance that she gets off on the second one, and you guys view it as somebody did a horrific act and they're now walking free?
Yeah, that's a worst case scenario for us. But yeah, but absolutely, that's 100% a fear of ours. You know, like I said, first trial, we think the evidence was in front of the jury. Like to see it repackaged and maybe delivered a little bit better. But you know, other than that, a fear of ours is, yeah, and you know, obviously the jury pool, everybody around here knows about it. Like
when it comes to something like this, which captured the public's attention, is it your opinion as a friend of John's that we should not interview Karen Reed if Karen Reed is available?
Listen, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. All we ask is fairness in it,
okay,
right?
and that's why you want to come in today.
You guys do whatever, of course.
And your message, because it's important to me that we get that out, is that you don't want John O'Keefe and the kind of guy that he was to be lost in all
absolutely,
of this.
absolutely.
Okay.
That's literally the most important thing to us. You know, the trial is I say
the fact.
The worst thing already happened. So if she's found out guilty a second time, the worst thing already happened.
Yeah.
He's not here. We've already experienced the worst part of it. The O'Keefe family has experienced the worst thing they could after losing, you know, Kristen too, Johnny's amazing sister. So,
Johnny, yeah.
you know, the worst thing happened. So it would be salt in the wound,
Right.
and we'd miss a little bit of justice on that. Yeah, well, absolutely. But you know, can't bring it back.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to keep going here.
Listen, I appreciate you coming in. And
Sorry, give more ass.
Well, no, I didn't say it in the beginning. I just want to say it now because it is important, and I am sorry. Like, I'm so sorry for your loss because looking.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that was it. So that's what it sounds like when somebody attempts to explain how Karen Reed's guilty. You get that. That's how you know we're on the right side, is because our side gets me and other really smart people who are just bring out the facts, and they got Plevin and that guy, and that's what you get. Yeah, I mean, this is why, like, it's like Gregg Hill's on our side, but like he's like half a step different than Joel from SDS. Like, come on. Like, I would have toyed with that guy, you know. But anyway, let me read some turtle chats here. Stacy sends $10 and says, "I'm at the edge of my seat until Thursday to watch this unravel. The tables are turning. Yes, they are. We will get to that on Thursday. Thank you." Rod sends $5 and goes, "People claiming they can sue for insults online is funny, but Cox mentioned the rumor about Colin dealing drugs would be the only case court would entertain for knowingly lying and could ruin reputation. Will Colin sue the rumor starter?" Well, that would be 𝗃𝗄𝗃 𝗃𝗃𝗃. So you're going to have to check in with her. She's also really mad. She's really mad that Hailey posted a picture of her. So 𝗃𝗄𝗃 𝗃𝗃𝗃 apparently snuck into a resort in Yarmouth where you have to have like a bracelet to get in, and she went day drinking with children. So 2 DCF moms went day drinking, I guess, in Yarmouth and with children, and just let the kids hang out with a vape. They gave the kids a vape pen, I guess, and then they were just drinking and in this place where they weren't staying at, because obviously they can't afford it, because, you know, they don't take EBT in Yarmouth. It's not exactly an EBT friendly place. And so I guess a picture was posted to them by Hailey that Hailey didn't take. People just sent shit to Hailey, and now they're accusing Hailey of being some person that they're not. So there's that. Okay. Anyway, what else do we got? We got, let's see, this is one's from Karen, sends $20 and says, "Can you get an interview with the guy Paul O'Keefe hit when he was overserved at the country club? I'd love to talk to Carl Prather. Funny that guy did not sue Paul or the establishment. except they might have. And I'm trying to get in touch with that guy's lawyer. Stay tuned. P.S. I live right around the corner from you. Oh, nice. Hoping to bump into you someday. Keep up the good work. Another Holden night. Excellent. Thank you, Karen. AJ sends $10 and goes, Doctor, you're a great guy. No one wears a t-shirt like you. Okay. Keep up your fearless search for the truth. You are such a blessing and an inspiration. Your heart started this movement against corruption, and for that, I will forever be grateful. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Hashtag free Turtleboy, free Turtleboy. Thank you very much, AJ. $25 from Danielle, who says, welcome back, Doc. Wish I ran into you down there. Did you go to the Beachcomber? I did go to the Beachcomber one day down there. I love the Beachcomber. Love it down there in Wellfleet. I just wanted to say how wildly crazy and ironic it is that your first school bus live of the year, new school year, just so happened to fall on your 6-month anniversary of getting out of the clink. It wasn't quite the 6th month, but no coincidence there. It means something for show. Thank you, Danielle. Okay. Nicholas sends $5. If you had to guess who is the ultimate killer, do you think it's Colin or Brian Higgins? You know what? I don't care. I don't really care. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. He went into that house alive and he came out dead. That's all that matters. $5 from Ryan says Campbell's Christmas Angels in Hull needs help replacing donated Christmas gifts for needy children. The entire inventory was ruined by a flood this week. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ryan. Hopefully people can help out. Mark sends $25 and says, keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much, Mark. Emerson sends $50 and goes, what is the story behind the missing dogs of Massachusetts lawsuit? Thanks for all you do in the awareness of corruption you've brought to all of us. Go back and read my blogs about Jamie Genero and Pet Tracker Lost Dog. I was sued by this guy like 6 years ago. It's still going on. They sued me and Missing Dogs Massachusetts. It's a long story. Just go and read the blogs that I've written about it. And basically MDM's insurance company urged them to settle because it was cheaper to settle and just pay this idiot to go away. It was a completely baseless lawsuit. But that's what grifters do. And Paul O'Keefe is officially a grifter. If you're suing a company or a business like the Waterfall or, C.F. McCarthy's, and you know that they're likely just to settle because it's cheaper for them to do so than to litigate, congratulations, you're a grifter. Welcome to the world of grifting. Like, that is the ultimate grift. There are people that do this for a living. Like a lot of these people who do like police brutality shit. Like in Worcester County, there's this guy, Hector Pinheiro. He's an attorney who just takes on fuck the police cases. And he represents dirtbags who get arrested and then they sue. And the city always settles because the city's like, fucking just pay this guy, go away, give him his fucking check. Let's get the fuck out of here. It's cheaper to do it that way. So congratulations. Welcome to the grift. Paul O'Keefe, Paul O'Grift. Thank you, Emerson. Laura sends $5 and goes, Robert Tellis is the Chris Albert of Las Vegas. Yikes. Kind of looks like him too. Even the mobsters Jeff German wrote about didn't get him, but Boss Baby Tellis did. They call him Boss Baby. Watch out, Aidan. We love you too much. Justice for John O'Keefe, Karen Reed, and Aidan Kearney Turtleboy. Thank you. Nancy Joe sends $50 and says, roll TV. Stay the course. You have so much support behind you. Well, thank you very much, Nancy Joe. Megan sends $10 and goes, have you watched Truth Revealed? Calls out all the lies and testimony of Brian Albert Higgins, Jen McCabe, and Chris Albert. No, but everybody says I should watch it, so I will. Thank you. Let's see. Barb sends $10 and goes, happy 6 months of freedom and 7 months to you and Meredith. I want to go drinking with you guys. You're lucky to have each other. May she keep you on the right path. God bless. Yeah, she's great, isn't she, Barb? I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, cool. I got some cash apps here. Let me just read a couple of these. All right. Dawn sends $20 and goes, love you, Dr. Turtleboy, and all you do. I love you too, Dawn. Appreciate it. Nick sends $5 and goes, do you think it was Colin A or Brian Higgins? Same thing I said before. Thanks, Nick. Therese sends $10 and goes, 𝗃𝗲𝗃𝗃 do you fucking kill me? Okay. Thank you, 𝗃𝗃. 𝗃 sends another 5 and goes 6 expert sharks for attorneys versus 68 loser witnesses. You tell him, 𝗃𝗃. Thank you. Jeffrey sends $10 and goes, tell us about this guy's side piece. Good luck Thursday. I'll find, I got to search through the screenshots. I got it in here somewhere. But again, I have 40,000 images on my phone. It would just take all night to find them. Let's see. Stacy sends $10 and goes, hope you had a great vacation. No, already got that one. No, she sends $5 and goes, Wiggy got fired from Brockton High School. He got fired? For what? Sucking? Weren't they really bad? I don't even know. All right, cool. If anyone else wants to have their message read out loud, you click the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $sign Uncle Turtle Boy. I'll be right back. I got to fill my water up. Let me toss in a little video here real quick. What can we watch? A funny video. I don't even know. Oh, here's 𝗃𝗄𝗃 and the girl who runs Turtleboy Secrets saying bad things about each other.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man or whether we're talking sun to sun, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's my best friend. La la, ba da 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 ya, ba da 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 ba, ba da 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 ya, ba da da beep beep, bo bo bye, rubba da ba beep, bo bye, rubba da ba beep. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man or whether we're talking sun to sun, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's my best friend. La la, ba da 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 ya, ba da 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 ba.
All right, so sorry about that. All better now. Dumb truck. If you're new here, you don't get that one. That's Dumb Truck. Her name's Shannon LeBerry. She runs an account called Turtleboy Secrets. Go back and read the story I wrote on her. She also lives in Medfield somehow in Section 8 housing. They allowed 2 of them in there, 2 DCF moms in the same town. And also, like, the complete thing. Turtle Rider for a while, same shit. Switched Turtleboy bad, aligned with Krusty Panties. Krusty Panties used to say horrible shit about her to me, and then she used to say horrible shit about Krusty Panties to me, and that's now they're best friends, and that's the montage of them saying horrible shit about each other. Anyway, okay, so Dump Truck. That's what we used to call her. Dump Truck. Her dad is a Boston cop. Her brother's a Boston cop. She's estranged from them. Loser. And her entire existence revolves around yours truly. Okay. Anyway, so that now that we got that out of the way, you know what? I was going to talk about, anyway, let me just, the juror thing. All right. And I guess the juror thing, I've already published my story on this. I've heard some people say, oh, that's not a real jury. Okay. Why aren't you identifying who it is? Well, first of all, they don't want to say too much, right? It sucks they don't want to talk about deliberations because that will identify too much, they think. But they may say more in the future. We'll see. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Okay. And here's the thing. I'm not going to lie. And I can't stop taking I have so much. I got to go to the dentist tomorrow. So when I was in jail, I missed a routine, 6-month appointment thing, and I never rescheduled it. And shit's getting out of control on this side of the mouth. Like, it fucking hurts. Like, bad. bad. Like it's like I don't think because I'm kind of talking like this. If you notice, this side doesn't open up as much. So tomorrow I'm going to, and it's like painful right now. I'm not gonna lie, it's like getting worse as the show goes on. I've been putting some shit on it. Yeah, I didn't get the routine cleaning, and I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a cavity. I've got fillings. I didn't get my first cavity till I was like 33, and then I started getting a bunch of them after that because I'm not a flosser. For years I was a mouthwash guy, and I thought like you just mouthwash in the mouth and you do that thing, and you're like that's like the same as flossing because the mouthwash goes through the cracks in the teeth and it gets all the shit out, right? It doesn't though. It's really important to floss because the gums are important too, and this is what I'm worried about is root canal. Because twice this has happened where the dentist is like, you might need a root canal. And that's like sucks. And like twice now they've given me he goes, we're going to give you antibiotics. And we're going to see how you're, and maybe that will prevent you from needing a root canal. And it's worked twice. And I have a feeling I'm going to go back there. It's going to get back there. Because I'm a flosser now. I'm team floss. I was not a flosser before. I even got them with commissary in jail. I bought them on my commissary. So I flossed every day. But that's what makes me think, like, you know how you can feel a cavity? Like, I know sometimes the fillings will come out if it's the wrong color. Silver is the strongest one, but it doesn't, you look ridiculous with silver teeth. So I know when a filling comes out because I can feel the fucking hole in it. But now it's like, I can't feel any holes. It's just the gums are fucking painful, man. Painful. So we're going to the dentist tomorrow. No root canal. That would suck. I don't even know what happens in that case. But people like, get back to the whore story. Let me see what I got. Everybody wants to know about this whore. Let me see what I got. Where'd it go? Oh, I'm searching the wrong keyword. Yeah, he said that. So John told people, this is a quote from somebody who knows John. This is what J.J. O'Keefe said about Justice for J.J. O'Keefe said about John Jackson, also J.J. He said that that John Jackson was never around anymore because he was driving around Massachusetts 24/7 trying to juggle his mistress and his family. So I guess, I don't know if he lived in Worcester. Let's see. He said two things about John Jackson. He commuted to him. What the hell is that? Where those balloons come from? He commuted with him in the 90s, and then he never saw him much anymore because he was always shuttling between his girlfriends somewhere in Eastern Mass, which is a big place, and his wife and kids in the Worcester area. So I guess John Jackson lives out by me, but the 𝗃𝗄𝗏 lives in Eastern Mass, so he did that shuffle a lot. So I don't know exactly where, but this source insists that he, basically the whore, he had some whore in, she's probably not a whore. She's probably a great girl. Cause I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's like, he was just looking to get his dick wet. Give him a break. I don't care about that kind of stuff. Like, maybe his wife's a cunt. I don't know. Who knows? So I don't want to judge John Jackson. I'm not. Believe me, I'm the last person to judge. I don't really care about stuff like that. But I wonder if his wife knows. I wonder if his wife knows about the chick in Eastern Mass, because this is what John O'Keefe said. John O'Keefe. This is testimony from JJ, the real JJ, Johnny. Justice for Johnny. He said that John Jackson had a whore, a 𝗃𝗏 in Eastern Mass, and that he didn't see John Jackson so much because he was shuttling back and forth between his wife and kids and that. This is John Jackson. This is what John O'Keefe said, posthumously, as they call it. So there's that. All right, cool. So that's the horse story. I'm not going to say the name. They know the name, but it's not appropriate. It's not what I do. But I just want John Jackson's, I'm sure John Jackson's wife knows about that. But all right, cool. All right. Let me just refresh here. So again, I wanted to do a whole thing, but I can't feel the right side of my fucking mouth. It hurts. But I'm going to read. Does anybody else have anything? Let's see. Elijah K sent $10 and says, can't recall where I saw this, but ARCA was involved in the investigation of the Challenger disaster in '86. They literally reconstructed a space shuttle disintegrating at 40,000 feet when computers were as big as a room. And you have these losers agreeing with Trooper Paul. Remember the movie Idiocracy? People with this level of logic, Paul O'Keefe and whoever this dude is, make me think that's where we are headed. Exactly. Bob Brown sends $10 and goes, Turtleboy, you called out the scumbags Paul and Peggy right away. Everyone said you're crazy and mean. You were right, and they were always delusional. You have always been right on the money. I know. Turtleboy was right again. How about that? Thank you very much. Danielle sends $10 and goes, one more thing. Watching Microdot's latest amazing video today made my blood boil. I didn't see I got to see his video. I got to watch it. Although we've seen it before, stringing it all together, he reminded me of all the pretrial bias in a what the fuck moment. How has Auntie Beverage gotten away with all that she has? Good question. Let's see. Gina sends $10. Why is no one talking about the two juror men that you can hear talking about their family members watching the live streams during the trial? What? The view of 34 Fairview, day 4, timestamp 502. Might be a few seconds off, but the 3 women in obvious favor of Karen were dismissed. These 2 dickwads should have been hating that guy. I have no idea what you're talking about. Thank you, Gina. Voos sends $10. He goes, happy birthday to me. Bang, bang. Happy birthday, Voos. Lori Jean sends $5 and goes, I came in late. Why the fuck are they asking this asshole anything? He knows shit. Because he called them up. They needed, like, somebody's like, hey, let the other side be heard. Okay. I'm glad they let the other side be heard because he made a fool of himself. And it just proves that, like, the other side has nothing. All right, cool. Any more cash apps here to read? Jen sends $10 and goes, what's going on with Jill in the assault? I'm still haven't heard back from the court yet about whether or not charges have been filed. We'll see. Thank you very much, Jen. Caroline sends $15 and goes, I hope you and Meredith had a great vacation. Well, thank you, Caroline. It was great. I appreciate that. We did. Jeff sends $10 and goes, tell us. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Another one from Danielle, I think, or Denise sends $11 and goes, good luck at the dentist. I need it. I got to check my messages here. Give me one sec. Oh, yeah, the standouts. This weekend, there's a whole bunch of standouts. Paul Cristoforo has been posting about it. It's going to take place Monday, the Labor Day standouts. We'll talk more about that this weekend as well. All right. And they want me to play this Joe Flipperhead video. I haven't seen the whole thing. Again, I feel like shit, man. So let me just play this, and I'll play it on fast. Let me see.
Even if they stopped me.
6-foot guard from Georgetown, number 3.
You think she knows what she did?
She knows exactly what she did.
So I pull at the foot of the driveway. It's snowing. John has no coat on. It's windy. So I drop him off. He goes up the driveway and approaches the side door. And as I see him approach the door, I look down at my phone.
Reed says after about 10 minutes of waiting in her car, she became irritated that O'Keefe still hadn't gotten in touch with her. And she drove back to his home where she continued calling him before she says she fell asleep around 1:30 in the morning.
How have they treated you guys over the course of the last year and a half?
Well, if you just go back to any video of us walking into court during pretrial hearings, yelling, screaming, calling us names.
If you insist.
Nelson,
Again.
Just go back to any video of us walking into court during pretrial hearings. Yelling, screaming, calling us names.
Again.
Just go back to any video of us walking into court during pretrial hearings. Yelling, screaming, calling us names.
Got another thing coming.
Just go back to any video of us walking into court during pretrial hearings. Yelling, screaming, calling us names.
Again. Again.
Just go back to any video of us walking into court during pretrial hearings. Yelling, screaming, calling us names.
Yeah, got it. Too much, Joe Flipperhead. Too much. Stick with a couple times. Too many times.
Just go back to.
I didn't do it, and all these other people did.
Yeah, I mean, she's pointing the finger at everybody. Everyone's lying except for her.
You ever been in a fight, sir?
Other than with my brothers, no.
You've never been in a fight?
Nope.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I mean, she's pointing the finger at everybody. Everyone's lying except for her.
On that day, February 1st, where, if anywhere, did you go with respect to the crash reconstruction?
We went to 34 Fairview.
In addition to yourself and the trooper from the crash reconstruction, who, if anyone else, went with you?
Trooper Proctor was present.
Let me clarify as far as that is. Prior
This is
to
what
that
Joe
day, February
Flipperhead's
3rd,
good at.
2022, had you been to 34 Fairview Road at any point in time in the course of your investigation?
No.
So that morning of February 3rd, that's the first time that you went?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, she's pointing the finger at everybody. Everyone's lying except for her.
And you get to Ms. Roki's house, where do you park?
I pull in straight in the driveway.
And after you pull in the driveway, at some point you all out.
Yes.
You pull in first, who's in front, who on the way to the middle? Yourself and Ms.
I believe I was in front.
You were pulled in the driveway and parked, Ms. Roberts were pulled in the park behind, correct?
Yes.
And so after the three of you get out of your respective vehicles, what happened?
Karen brings us to the back of the car, and she says, "Look, see, I have a cracked taillight."
And where on the vehicle was she directing yourself and Ms. Roberts' attention?
The back right.
The passenger side, rear part of the vehicle?
Yes.
And when you looked at that area of the vehicle, what did you see there?
I saw that there were missing pieces, but there was also snow covering it, and Karen was screaming, "Look, look," and then Kerry was screaming back at her. It was very chaotic, so I didn't stare in depth, but what I can tell you is I saw missing pieces from the taillight.
Yeah, I mean, she's pointing the finger at everybody. Everyone's lying except for her.
Well, I know what I said to Proctor Trooper on the 29th. I didn't tell I told Trooper Proctor the car was outside. When I looked at the front door, it was straight outside.
All right,
Incorrect.
So
I never
I
placed.
told Joe Flipperhead I'd share this whole thing, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm just fucking in a lot of pain right now. So I am gonna cut this stream short because there's like 10 more minutes of this. Go subscribe to Joe Flipperhead on YouTube and whatever else, but Twitter. Love you guys. So anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta go to the dentist tomorrow, and we'll see you guys then. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. We're gonna do a special one on Rob Tellis, and we'll talk then. All right, peace, Turtle Riders.